Hello everyone and welcome to Trending in My Life. Starting off this week with a bit of a natter, really just talking about things in general. It was 20 degrees today. That's practically summer in London. I don't know, by the time I get to August it'll be 30 something. But for spring, that's really hot. So my big coat in the morning, because it was like 1 degree, turned into, oh gosh, I'm so hot by the time I was coming home, and it was 20 degrees, but not complaining. Sunshine's lovely. So I hope you've got some sunshine where you are and that it's making you feel bright and happy as well. So we're in March, halfway through now. Well, a little bit more than that. Yeah, a little bit more than that. And the 30th of March in the UK is Mother's Day. So I'm thinking about all different kinds of Mother's Day gifts you might want to give your mother. For me, I always think homemade stuff is really nice, because if you think about it, your mother raised you and she saw you grow and as a child, and I'm sure as a child you would make bits and pieces in school or at home and go running to show your mother what it was like. And to give her a gift of something she's not quite sure of and looks at and thinks, oh, it's lovely. But it still meant a lot. And yeah, I've been thinking up different ideas for things you could make as Mother's Day gifts, which I'll put together as some shorts in the coming days up to Mother's Day. Now I know in some countries Mother's Day isn't celebrated till May, so this might not fit with where you are in the world, but certainly in the UK it is Mother's Day. And the shops, the stores, they don't know what to do with themselves, because they've got Mother's Day coming really quickly, and then they've got the big 4-day Easter holiday as well. So you've got aisles of Easter eggs, but at the same time you've got Mother's Day cards and Mother's Day gifts, and in a smaller section, but nevertheless quite prominent, because they want you to be looking at those and buying those. And I sometimes think with the Easter eggs, they want you to buy them early, and then, you know, your resolve weakens and you eat them. And then you go back and buy more. So I think it's really a marketing strategy that they're doing that to sell more Easter eggs. Anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking about Mother's Day. I'm thinking about Easter as well, Easter decorations. So it's funny, in the stores, Easter egg aisles are dominated, or Easter decorations even, are dominated by the colour yellow, and Mother's Day displays are dominated by the colour pink. And I'm sure not every mom likes pink, but yeah, so you can sort of see them standing out in stores when you walk in where they are. Yeah, so there's a lot of stores trying to sell you things right now. But yeah, the nicer weather, I think, brings out people's happy vibe, and so shopping for things like that is something they look forward to. Yeah, the temperatures shot up really out of the blue. It had been up to 15, 17 previously in weeks, but kept flip-flopping between very cold days. In fact, it was really cold at the weekend, and really hot days. You just didn't know what to expect. But yeah, this zoomed up to 20 today. So we'll see what tomorrow has in store. I think sometimes if you're stuck for a gift for Mother's Day, then it's quite helpful to look at small shops or small stores where they might have sort of one-off gifts that you might not see anywhere else. Chain stores will always have a big display of gifts you can buy, but sometimes they're very much the same from store to store. So it is nice to pop into sort of a small unique store and see what selection they have. The only thing is, when you walk into a small store, you do feel more intimidated because just the size of the place is smaller. You can't browse without the owner knowing you're there. You know, it's kind of obvious as soon as you walk in, and they'll probably say hello as soon as you walk in as well. And a certain part of you feels like, oh, there's this pressure to buy something now I'm in here. But equally, they probably want to be helpful and make suggestions because you haven't seen their stock before, and they might say, oh, we've got some good Mother's Day things over here. And I mean, it's such a wide selection, isn't it, for Mother's Day? Because it's like you could buy sort of picture frames, because then you can put a photo in, have it printed out and put a photo in that means something. Or it might just be that you give a photo frame but then take a photo on the day and then have that printed, and so you can put it in the frame afterwards. Usually I think a lot of moms have photos anyway that they might want to choose to put in there. That's the thing, like in the UK, mum is spelt M-U-M, right? But I went to school in the UK, and in the school I was in, they were using a different teaching system for the alphabet, and it wasn't mum, it was mom, M-O-M. And I know a lot of parts of America and Canada use mom, and in my own family we do as well. We don't use mum because I don't know, I have trouble wrapping my mouth around that one. Mum. I think mummy you can understand, I get that, but mum just doesn't seem to roll off the tongue. Mom does for me anyway. So yeah, there is sort of generic gifts like the picture frame. The other thing you could do is think of something your mom is actually interested in. She might like pottery, she might like painting, things like that. So you could get her something related to a hobby. She might like knitting, you might buy some wool. They actually do these sort of wool holders that have a slit. They look a bit like they're kind of, I'm doing this one-handed because I've got my microphone in the other hand. They're like a bowl with like a slit in, and the idea is you put your ball of wool in the bowl and then thread the start of your wool through the slit, and gradually as you're pulling on it with your knitting or crocheting, it will just keep rolling around in the bowl, so it won't go anywhere, but it will unravel through that little slit. And I think those come in different colours and things. You can usually get them in craft shops, so they're quite a different kind of gift to give someone. You could, of course, take your mother out for a meal, or to a show, or to the cinema. It could be a sort of experience type gift rather than a bunch of flowers or a box of chocolates type gift. And everybody's mother is different and will appreciate these things differently. So you will know, because it's your mom, what she'll like the best. But yeah, certainly people are thinking about that now, because it's only sort of about 10 days away, something like that here. Yeah, and then like I say, Easter is only just round the corner, and I think it's 2 weeks into April. Yeah, it's about 2 weeks into April, and in the UK we get a 4-day holiday for that, and people really look forward to that because it's the first like national holiday of the year. And yeah, we have that where it's, you get the sort of national holidays of the Friday and the Monday, and of course there are people that work weekends for whom it wouldn't be a 4-day weekend, but a lot of people still don't work Saturday and Sunday, so they get a 4-day weekend, and they will go on a trip somewhere or take their first vacation of the year, things like that. And then we get another bank holiday. That's what they call them here, bank holidays rather than national holidays. And we get the one at the beginning of May and one at the end of May. So we get 2 days off in April and 2 days off in May. They're just separated out in May. And then we don't get anything till August. It's one of those things. But then I think people are much happier by that time because most of the cold or rainy weather has gone away, and as the seasons change, people's spirits lift and they have more energy and enthusiasm to go out and do things. So in a way it's not so bad, because it's the longest part of the year where there isn't any national holidays, and I think, well, at least people are feeling in a good mood to go out and enjoy themselves anyway, which they can do on their regular weekends. Anyway, talking about buying gifts made me think, apart from small stores, you might have a market near you that's selling things which are a little bit different or you wouldn't normally get in a store. So you might visit a market to buy something. So I'll video some of Bromley Market for you so you can see what I mean about gifts that you might buy. I mean, they have clothes and things, and there's a record store. And it's funny, why do I think that that's more of a man thing? I don't know. Because I had a record player when I was really young, and 33 RPM records. And 45s as well. 45s you could afford. It was a lot to save up for an LP. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, you might go to a market. We have a very famous market in London, Borough Market, but that's mostly food, and I will show some clips of that. Maybe not this week, but another week I will go into that. So anyway, let's go into part of the video where I'm out and about, and then I'll pop back in and have another chat with you later. Here at the market we have handbags and purses, knickknacks of all kinds, and then we have some minerals. That was an unusual store. Lots of different things, including salt lamps. And then there was bracelets and necklaces in all different colours, and clothing, all kinds of ladies' clothing. Lots to choose from, and caps, a cap store, and finally the record store, which had some tin signs which I thought were really unusual. Oh, and not forgetting the keychains, feathers and scarves. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some ideas for Mother's Day, gifts that you might like to get. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and come back next time. Bye for now.